Most people believe they're stuck. They really do. What is actually happening, though, is that they are wed to an identity that once kept them safe, an identity that once kept them from being exposed in a way that was not comfortable. And when you see that clearly, when you actually see what's going on and that registers in your body, growth stops feeling like resistance. Yes. And it starts feeling like expansion. Quick question. Have you ever felt that you were doing everything right? You were building the funnels correctly? You had the masterclass planned out. You had your 5-day challenge completely tuned. It was optimized and it was rocking. You had a mentor. You had a coach. You invested in growing your business in the future. You were doing absolutely everything right and you were ahead of the curve. You were cruising. Have you ever felt that way? Something keeps stopping you. You get to the edge and it's kind of like an invisible wall. Boom. You bump straight into it and you slow down. If that feels familiar, then you're going to love this conversation. What most people call resistance is really something far deeper. It's an old identity that keeps popping its head up. And it keeps popping its head up so that you can actually change it this time. It's not lack of ambition. It's not lack of motivation. It's not lack of focus. It's an old identity that's in the nervous system. We become loyal to an identity that we hold in our body, even if it's maladapted, even if it's not serving us. My name is Christian Raphael. I'm a medical support clinical hypnotherapist. And for over a decade, I've worked with peak performing women entrepreneurs at the intersection of subconscious reprogramming, identity architecture, and nervous system stabilization. This channel is about facts, science, and giving you concrete ways to rewire and rewrite your nervous system in a way that's going to support you in moving forward. You see, because people don't stall. Their body says, whoa. The identity puts the brake on, not the people. Identity puts the brakes on. And that identity is in the nervous system. Identity runs the nervous system. Identity is the commander-in-chief. How we hold ourselves is our identity. So if you value conversations about updating, upgrading, and working with your nervous system to become a better version of yourself, then like and subscribe to this channel. Because every week I put something out that's intended to be of significant benefit to you, the entrepreneur who's desiring to move your life forward, to live your life on your terms. So let me ask you a question. What would you do if you knew you could? What would you do if you really knew you could? And you felt that in your body, not surface motivation, but it was deep inside your body as a way of being and a way of holding yourself in the world. What would you do if you knew you could, if you really, really knew you could? I want you to think about that for a moment. And let's talk a little bit about why that doesn't happen. The reason that doesn't happen, the reason that we don't live the life that we desire to live, is because we have these old beliefs that happened, that were installed like applications during sensitizing events, maybe with authority figures, peer groups, repetition, or maybe when we agreed to something that otherwise we knew was not in our best interest. That's when our identity gets constructed. We learn to pull back and play small. We learn that by playing small, we can get a reward. By playing small, we can get praise. By playing small, we can conform to a system that we know very little about because we do not have adult mind reasoning. We have child mind ego. These programs that we install because of our environment are still running the show. And it takes courage, it takes will, it takes discipline in order to move through them. And even more than that, it takes a desire to go into the subconscious mind, identify the program, and then uninstall it, kind of like you're updating an application on your smartphone. Why would you update an application on your smartphone? Well, it's because it's not functioning well anymore. Sometimes the app will not function at all unless you update it. Well, unfortunately, some of the programming that we've received at young ages is still updating or still operating, even without it being updated. It's producing the same old result. getting us the same old, same old, same old life. But somewhere we know we're meant for more. And then after we've tried to update and move forward and do that, run that program, launch that program, correct the funnel, send out the emails, acquire new clients, and it doesn't work, we start to regress back to that old identity and say, see, I knew it. I'm not good enough to do this. I'm not good enough to do this. That's the old identity coming up. That's the child ego coming up. And so then what do? We retreat. We retreat back to safety. We take 3 steps forward and 2 steps back. 3 steps forward and 4 steps back. We keep retreating back to safety. Back to that place where we were not challenged, where we were not ridiculed. This happens in everyday life. So if you're hitting that wall, that invisible wall, just know 2 things. Number 1, congratulations. Now you know what needs to be corrected. Congratulations. Now you know that you're on the right path. When you're feeling the heat, you're getting near the source of the flame. When you're feeling the heat, you're getting near the source of the flame. And the source of that flame is your ultimate freedom. The source of that flame is your ultimate goal. The source of that flame is the truth about who you are. That's the source of the flame. When you're feeling the heat, you're getting closer. I want you to think about that. I want you to really think about that. Let that sink into your body. Our fear is not that we will succeed. I believe our fear is that we are magnificent beyond belief. What are you telling yourself? Pay attention to what you're saying because you're listening. So how do we develop the habit of getting close to that flame, that heat? Well, one of the best ways that I know how to do that is to get a mentor. Invest in a coach. Invest in somebody that has walked the mile and knows what they're doing. If you say, I can't afford it, my challenge to you is, how can you not afford it? Is it really worth it for you to stay stuck in terms of where you are? See, I can't afford it is really a smokescreen for, am I able to do this? Think about that. I can't afford it is a smokescreen for, am I able to do this? Do I have what it takes? Do I have the ability? Am I good enough? Am I worthy? Do you remember when you were a young kid and your imagination was running wild? It was like the last day of school before summer vacation. Do you remember that day? When you had the wonder of a butterfly in your heart? When summer vacation meant the smell of fresh cut grass? When summer vacation meant another rickety spin on that two-wheeler? When summer vacation meant chlorine in your eyes from the swimming pool? Maybe catching fireflies in a glass jar? It didn't get dark till like 8:30 at night. When you'd get up really super early in the morning at dawn and you'd hop on your bicycle with your sibling and you'd go pedaling around for the entire day. Summer vacation when we were free, when anything and everything was possible, and people would ask you, what are you going to be when you grow up? And it was everything from I'm going to be an astronaut to I'm going to be an inventor to a famous musician or whatever the case may be. You had these dreams and hopes. Your critical factor, that drunk monkey that says, no, you can't, no, you can't, no, you can't, was not present. It was just pure potential. That's when you knew you could. I'm here to tell you that that version of you still exists. And it's up to you as to which voice you're going to listen to. It's like the proverb, the Cherokee fable of the young Native American asking his grandfather to tell him the story about the two wolves, the malevolent wolf and the benevolent wolf. And one was mean, nasty, and vicious, and the other one was kind, generous, and compassionate. And they're constantly fighting. And the young child asks, so which one wins the fight? And the elder says, the one you feed. The one you feed. So which one are you feeding? Which wolf are you feeding? Which part of the mind are you feeding? The books we read, the people we associate with, what we tell ourselves determines who we become over time. What are you feeding yourself? Where do you desire to be? See, nobody's coming to get you. Nobody's coming to save you. It's up to you. It's up to you to become the best version of yourself that you choose to be. It's up to you to become the best version of yourself that you choose to be. And when we choose to become a better version of ourselves, and we get close to that heat, that fire, that's not familiar, and we say, oh no, get me out of here, this is dangerous. No, it's not familiar. It's not that it's dangerous, it's not familiar. And being out on that edge, and building the capacity to be out on that edge, and operating at a higher capacity as a human becoming takes courage. See, we as humans are wired to move away from things that are perceived as being dangerous. Key word here is perceived. You may have heard me say this before, but I'll bet you a nickel that you've never been to a movie with a friend and you've come out with the exact same favorite scene every time you come out of the movies. Why is that? Because different people ascribe different meanings to the same thing. Different people ascribe different meanings to the same thing. Same time, same movie, same input, different meaning. So how do we move through this? Association, get yourself a coach. Acknowledge that identity that's keeping you small. Acknowledge it. Every negative emotion has a positive intention. It's wanting to move you away from perceived danger. Decide the movie that you're going to watch. What's your movie? Who is starring in your movie? What is the outcome of your movie? Write your movie. Get that into your awareness. Get that into your mind. And remember, remind, put it back together in your awareness and focus on that. And as you do that, you'll feel more comfortable being visible. You'll feel more comfortable stepping into this identity of who you are becoming. The magic happens when who you are becoming is what you do. You've heard me say that before. The magic happens when who you are becoming is what you do. That's when you develop power and potency and a sense of presence that's magnetic, that will come through a video screen, that will come through a Zoom screen, that will come through on audio that goes into the ear of a listener. Presence transcends time and space. Think about that. Presence transcends time and space. And in that present moment, when the truth of who you are is right there, people will feel that. And you will become a broadcasting signal. You will be the signal. The signal of something powerful and potent. This is an identity that you can trust. This is the identity that you need to bring out into the world. So you're not stuck. You're walking closer and closer and closer to that flame. So with gratitude, I invite you to embrace the journey. Because once you see that clearly, once you see the truth of who you are clearly, there is no going back. You're going to live this life. And when you get to the end of it, will you have regrets? It's like one of my favorite authors, Stuart Wilde, in his book, The Infinite Self. I love this quote. I will never be more alive than in that moment after I have taken my last breath and my heart has stopped beating. And when I think about that quote, which I love, I say to myself, and until that moment, I have wood to chop and water to carry. So if this visit sharpened something for you, I invite you to like and subscribe for more information. This is Christian Raphael, medical support clinical hypnotherapist. We'll see you in the next video. Be kind, be well, be a blessing.